Someone commented on my Medium story that the Copilot would not replace, very experienced, high-level developers. And of course, it definitely won't. I sort of mislead in the article, but that's what you got to do, right? Got to get the readers like wiping out the whole industry. But no, it's not. And in this video, I'll show you more what I'm talking about. So everything I'm doing here, I could code myself, but I'm not focused on the coding here. I don't want to code. What I want to do, and I'll show you here, is so I'm working on the Max Can't Help It channel, and I have these 11 Labs voices. And so here you can hear how they sound. Now, normally I just go into 11 Labs, I type in the text, and then on the screen I'll generate the voice and I'll download it from the web screen. But I want to do it through Python because I can do it very quickly. I want to have a drop down of the voices. I can select, I can put the text in, copy and paste the text and do it, and I'll get the voice, which I've noticed is much faster than doing the web thing. So again, I can program it, but I don't want to program it. I just want to take the script and make it so it's faster for me to use. And this is where CoPilot comes in. I don't have to put it on my brain, my programming brain that much. I can just tell it what I want it, and it will build me a thing that will save me time. And if I was at a corporation, this is the type of thing I would give a junior level programmer. I would say, oh, we want to test the API of whatever, Service X, build me a little Python, tkinter, whatever, where we can test this API, see if it works for our needs, right? That's how in a real world this would be used. But like I said, in a real world now, the programmer wouldn't need to do that. A programmer could just go into CoPilot and do it themselves while probably multitasking and doing other things. So anyway, again, I haven't done this beforehand, so as I do it, we'll learn together to see how well it works. Maybe this time it won't work it out. It'll be just a huge frustration. Well, we'll soon see. All right, so I wrote a little script last night that gets the voices, but it puts a little dash in between. And since I want to load it into the into a list, I'm just going to put a pipe there, and now I'm going to run this. Oops. Oh, I probably have the wrong library here. This is something, yeah, like a not a very experienced programmer would probably spend an hour on, like, why the hell isn't it working? Of course, it's not working, but again, that wasn't really the problem. Get voices. 11 Labs, get voices. Why isn't that working? Line 1. I don't understand why this isn't working. Well, who knows? Anyway, okay, so it worked now. And let's just see. Yeah, okay, so did the pipe delimitate? These are all the voices in 11 Labs that want to drop down for. So now I'm going to take this. Oops, no. I'm going to take this one. Let's just save this as a new file, because I know this works, and I don't do this enough sometimes. And I want to make sure I have a version I can go back to that's going to work. Okay, so I'm going to take all this. I'm going to go into CoPilot, and I'm going to say, well, let's see, take the following code and create a tkinter interface where there's a drop down of voices I can get from a text file from a pipe delimited text file. What the hell was that thing called? Called voices.txt. Named, oops, limited text file named voices.txt. So I'll also want a multi-line text box to paste in text for my script, and then a button to run the API fetch. Okay, we'll figure out all of what I've meant here. Oops. So now I need to I already figured out what I want, and it's now it's using old text I put into it where I have my API key, so I'm going to create it from this where I made some changes. Now, somebody on YouTube made a comment saying, "Oh, you know, it's doing natural language. That's why it's doing it one line at a time. Is it's actually writing the code one line at a time." And he may be right. I mean, I don't really know much about how this stuff works, but it just seems suspect to me that it would do it this way. That it wouldn't like sort of do the whole thing and then have it all ready. So I'll be curious to see whether that turns out to be the case or not. Okay, so now I'm going to delete all this. Save, let's run it. Okay, apitext.com. Oh, it's the API key. It should be API. Okay, I'm just gonna go rename that. Which is actually probably a better name anyway. Okay, so, oops, and I brought it up. I don't want it to do that. I have to cut that out of the video. Okay, let's run this. Okay, so here we have, we'll see it downloads all the things. So now we need to tell it, I want the Dropbox to show the name, but not the key. Okay. When I press the fetch button, it would get the key of the selected name in the drop down. And it's all like, it's all like, yeah, again, not stuff I could do, but you know, just not stuff I really want to think about. Okay, so load the voices from the file. Voices. So this is load the voice, so we're gonna need to change this. Get the menu for the drop down, right? Change all that. And then the fetch voice function. Once this, oops, selected voice. Okay, so we just need to change all this down to the chunk size. Let's see if this works. I have to drag it over. Great. All right, so now I'm gonna do, okay, oh, now I need to add a box for the, add a labeled one line text box where I can give the output MP3 file name. The program would append .mp3 to whatever name I give it in that box. See, this is sort of what I'm talking about. So like it knows up there. Anyway, it's telling. Okay, so let's just put this here. Let's go to def. Just this part. And then create a label for the thing. That's your code. And this is all before the pack. The window. Let's go to this. Okay, this will be the file name. This will be the voice. So let's do Dave. This is a test. Call this test 1. But the what button isn't showing. Where's the button? I don't see a button to run the fetch command anymore. You know, I might have deleted it or something. Oh, I see. There's 2 packs here. So I need to take this out. I think this actually will just fix it. No, made that worse. So, read up, down. Okay, so I'm just going to take all this. This guy knows what I did. Good. Okay, so now we have this. I'm going to pick Clyde here. Call this test 1. Put in this here. This is a test of CoPilot. Fetch voice. This is it, test 1.
This is a test of CoPilot.
I don't have my headphones on, so my headphones on, see if I can hear that.
This is a test of CoPilot.
Yeah, so where are we at? We're at 11 minutes. So at 11 minutes, right, I was able, without putting my Python hat on. In fact, when I did put my Python hat to remove that one line, it screwed it up because I didn't feel like we need. Anyway, 11 minutes, I have what I need. I have a little interface that I can leave open on my screen and just paste in any text I want to, you know, pick the voice, paste in the text I want, give it the file name, and then get it, and it gets it. And I don't have to, you know, think about it. I can go get on with my day. So again, CoPilot, what it's really going to do is it's going to help. It's going to save tons of time of senior developers, where they won't need as much other like helper programmer labor. And then for less junior level developers, yeah, they're going to have to either get to a high level or not. I mean, it's sort of like what happened, and I say this in my story. It's when I was younger, legal secretaries were everywhere, and they made pretty good money, and paralegals too. So in law firms, you had the lawyers, you had the high-level lawyers, like high-level developers. You had the paralegals, and you had the executive secretaries. And the paralegals and executive secretaries did really well. But then when computers came around and they put all the case law and all this stuff, you know, all those huge bookshelves of books on easy searchable databases, and they had, you know, word processors designed for legal stuff, the whole industry of executive legal secretaries and paralegals shrunk by a tremendous amount. So now, yeah, if you want to do law, you either do it on a high level or you don't. There isn't that like gradation, and it's gonna be the same thing. CoPilot's gonna do the same thing, I think, to the software development industry. You're either gonna be like a high level programmer, and then basically just administrative support staff, or not. That's it. There's not going to be this huge industry of executive secretaries, which are the low-level programmers, or paralegals, which is sort of like the mid-level programmers. Anyway, we'll see what happens. Anyway, thanks for watching. Catch you next time.